Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Morgan and I'm a huge makeup lover. So for today's look, I was kind of going for some date night type of vibes because even though it's a pandemic, I feel like we should still do like some sort of date night, whether it's like inside or if you're comfortable going to restaurants, you can do that too. But I just thought I would hope to inspire some date night looks. So if you wanted to see how I ended up getting this look today, go ahead and keep on watching. Also, before we go, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you like me. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay everyone, let's go ahead and jump in. So I already have my eyelids primed with my e.l.f. Putty Primer in the shade Sand. And so today the palette we're actually going to be using for this date night kind of look is my Tati Beauty palette. In case you don't know what the inside of this looks like, I'll go ahead and open it for you. You get a nice big mirror. Well, let me show you the nice big mirror, and then this is what the palette looks like. So you get 6 different shades and then 4 different finishes of those shades. I'm going to go ahead and go in with the matte version of the shade Aura, and I'm going to use this to set that e.l.f. Putty Primer. So now that we have that base set, next we're going to go into the matte version of the Soothe shade, and that's what this one looks like here. Or I'm sorry, let me point to it. This is the one we're going to be using, and we're going to be using a ColourPop E15 brush, which is just a larger fluffy brush. And I'm just going to pop into that, tap off the excess, and use that in our crease slash transition area. This Tati Beauty palette is actually really pigmented, so you don't need a lot on your brush to start out with. That's why it's good to get into the habit of tapping off your palette. Or I'm sorry, tapping off your brush once you dip into the palette. Now that we have that shade on, I'm going to jump into the matte Story shade, which is the orange in the palette. So I'm going to be using this one here. And I am going to use my BH Cosmetics number 6 brush from the It's My Ray Ray brush collection, which is just a slightly smaller crease brush from the ColourPop one that we used. And I am going to use this to start deepening up the crease as well as adding dimension. And we are just going to keep building this up. And then once we have a little bit less product on the brush, I'm going to go ahead and start blending it up just a little bit higher than the crease. So I'm kind of curious to know like what the dating situation is like during COVID. I'm actually single, so I haven't been on a date night in a really long time. So I'm kind of curious, are you guys going out now because some things have opened up? Are you still kind of staying in? And if you are going out, like what's your typical date night look like? Or are you going to dinner? Are you going to the movies? Which I don't think any of the movie theaters are open yet, but are you going to dinner? Are you taking walks in the park? Are you cooking dinner at home and getting dressed up? I'm super curious to know that. So next, we're just going to keep working on deepening the crease here. So I'm going to go into the matte Ritual shade, which is this one right here. And I'm taking a Morphe 330 brush, which is a little bit more pointed. So first, we're going to start blending it into the crease. And again, this palette is very pigmented, so no need to go in with a lot right away. And we are going to start bringing that onto the outer crease a little bit. This palette is very heavy. My hand is getting tired of holding it. I'm gonna put it down and grab a smaller mirror. I'm gonna dab back into the matte Story shade just to help blend out that brown that we just applied. And this will help with any blending issues that you might see. I'm going to take the sequin version of the Ritual shade, and if you're not familiar, the sequin shade, which is this one, has tiny micro glitters in them. Now, the best way to use a sequin shadow, I think, is to apply with your finger in a patting motion. You can also use a brush, but if you swipe it with a brush, it's almost like those sequins will disappear and it'll just become another matte. So if you want to keep the subtle sparkle in the eye, I would apply it with my finger, but instead of rubbing it on, I'm going to tap it on. And I'm just going to take my pointer finger of the Ritual shade, and I'm going to apply this to the innermost of the outer portion of the eye, if that makes sense. So right here, and I'm going to apply that right there. And so if you see, if I get up close, you see that there's a little bit of that sequin in there. I love these. I love the sequin formula. I'm going to take my finger, this time my ring finger, and I'm going to go into the metallic version of the Soothe shade, which is this one right here. And that's just a lighter kind of brown metallic. Taking it on my ring finger, I'm just going to apply that to the innermost portion of the lid. And when I tell you these are pigmented, y'all, it's like butter the way these go on. Okay, so we got our sparkle going. I think what I'm going to do now is take a little bit of glitter, and I'm going to take the glitter shade of the Ritual palette. Sorry if you hear those little feet walking, my dog is up and about. So I'm going to go in with the glitter Ritual shade here, which is that brown that we put in the crease to deepen up. And I'm going to apply this right at the intersection between the Ritual and the Soothe shade. And we're just going to apply that right in between, just like that. So next up, we're going to go ahead and deepen up the outer corner just a little bit with the black in the shade. So the matte black, and the black in this case is called Memory, but this is what the matte black looks like. It's a really good matte black. And I'm gonna take that, a little bit of that shade, because I'm telling you y'all, it's so pigmented, you don't need a lot of it. This is my Morphe JH37. This might even be too big, but it's the only clean one I have right now. That's smaller, and I'm gonna take just the teeniest little doo, and I'm going to tap that off. And I'm going to apply that to the outer portion of the lid. And this is going to help deepen up that outer corner and deepen up that Ritual brown. You see? Like, you see the slight difference? It kind of just helps bring the look all together. So I think this is where we're going to leave the eye look for now. Next up, what I'm going to go ahead and do is mascara. So I've been using two mascaras at the moment that are ridiculously good and they work well together. First one I'm actually going to go in with is going to be the Grande Drama. This is the Intense Thickening Mascara with castor oil. And I'm going to go ahead, this is what the one looks like, a little bit thicker, but I don't think that the product is too thick. And I'm going to go ahead and apply this first to both lashes. And next on top of that, while that Grande one is still wet, I'm going to go in with the Tarte Big Ego mascara. This is the pink one here. And just in case you want to see this one is what this one looks like. It's a little bit more like hourglass shaped, and I'm going to use that to apply a coat. I think this is where we're going to leave the eye look for now. In this video, I'm actually going to try something a little different. I'm going to go ahead and apply the rest of my products without me talking through it. So what I'll probably do is just kind of, show you the products that I'm using, how I'm applying them, and then I will come back at the end to finish the waterline of the eyes, and then we'll be all set. So I'll see y'all when we do that. Alright y'all, and we're back to do the lower lash line. So real quick, I think I'm just going to do a real quick lower lash line. So going back into this Tati palette, I'm actually going to take the brush that we used to set the e.l.f. base, and I'm going to go into this Ritual shade here first and apply that to the lower lash line. And I'm using the matte version of that, sorry. And I'm just going to make sure that connects to the outer portion of the eye. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the Story shade, the matte orange, and I'm going to use just the same brush and kind of just use that to help blend out that matte Ritual shade underneath. Just to kind of mimic what we did in the crease up top. Then I'm going to apply some mascara to the bottom. On the bottom, I'm just going to use the Grande Drama mascara. Last thing for the eyes is an inner corner highlight. So I'm actually going to take the shimmery Aura shade here, or the metallic Aura shade, and I'm going to apply that to my inner corner. Okay, so that's our inner corner, and I loved using this Natasha Denona blush palette, so I'm going to take the diamond powder in here, which is this one, and I'm going to apply that to the inner corner as well, just to add a little bit more sparkle to this already glammed out look. We're going to set the brows using my ColourPop brow gel in just the clear shade. And last but not least, we're going to go ahead and do the lips. So for today, I was thinking, because this is more like a neutral look, I wanted to do a bright pop on the lips. So I'm going to be applying a lip liner from Becca. This is the Ultimate Lip Definer in the shade Confident. It's just a nice red lip liner. And then for the lipstick, I'm going to be going into this Dose of Colors, I think it's a liquid lip in the shade Date Night, which is perfect because that's what this look is for. So I'm going to go ahead and apply these real quick. Okay, so I actually went ahead and filled in my lips with this shade, and honestly, you could leave it here and just apply gloss if you want. But I'm going to go ahead and amp it up just a little bit with this Date Night shade from Dose of Colors. This is what the doe foot applicator looks like, so I'm really curious to try this. Alright, so this is what it's looking like. I'm thinking this Dose of Colors is actually a matte formula, so I do like the color that it gave. And now I feel like if I had a date night, I'd be ready for it. But y'all, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. And I will catch y'all in my next one. Bye.